Nathan Bennett asking about DeSean Troutman. Don't know if you're familiar with him. DeSean Troutman's 38th rated inside linebacker. He's in the Miami area as well as a 3-star.
Yes, he is. It's really wild that comes up. I was actually doing my eval on him for my recruiting update videos that I give out around this time of year. And yeah, he's a 3-star that is from Edgewater, Florida. And he's a local guy. He's a headhunter. I mean, he's 6'1". He's already 215 pounds right now. You know, and that's a guy who, we start talking about linebacker, the position, of course, historically at Miami, that's something that I try to get away from. You know, I don't want to do the whole Von Miller, you know, Ray Lewis conversation, Dan Morgan. We all know those names. What we need to do is get names like Shaq Quarterman and Michael Pinckney and Zach McLeod. We needed those guys to make those big steps. And they've laid actually a pretty nice foundation for the linebackers moving forward here at Miami. Now we have Zach McLeod. Now we have Avery Huff. Now we have Sam Brooks. Guys that can come in that are big but also fast. Some could even be listed as some bigger safeties, meaning that Miami is finally getting modern with the way that we're playing defense. Number one thing we did, 2018, go full sail into the 4-2-5. Now it's bringing in safeties and turning them into linebackers. And that's what we did with Avery Huff. So that's big time. Now, when it comes to DeSean Troutman, you know, I think that he's someone that we definitely need to be recruiting. Not saying that he isn't Miami caliber by any means, but right now we're taking swings at the top guys. I mean, you saw last recruiting class, we went after the number one inside linebacker and fell short of him when he chose to go to Oregon over Miami, even though he reached for the Miami hat and kind of hurt my heart a little bit, but that's okay. But yeah, I think that DeSean Troutman is definitely a Miami caliber guy. I would love if they were to take a commitment from him, because the way that he has his trajectory, he's a guy you want on the team now. Before the Auburns, before the Floridas, before the Tallahassee start calling and offering, you might want to get this guy on the train wearing the U, happy to be a Cane, because the way that he's growing. I mean, just last year, he was a borderline 2-star. Now he's shooting, and they're talking to making him a 4-star. So you want these type of guys on your squad and wanting to be Miami Hurricanes, because the way his trajectory has gone, I mean, he was an 81, now he's an 88. According to 247, it's a nice jump. That is a nice 85. Excuse me, he's an 85 right now, according to 247. My misread.
It's been a hot topic concerning Mike Rumph's ability or inability to bring in recruits. I'll go to Damian Hernandez's question, but really extend it past this to just his overall performance and where you would rate Mr. Rumph at this point. Damian's comment is that he's heard rumors that the cornerback offers that come in have to be approved by Manny and Banda before Rumph can extend an offer. Not sure if it's accurate, but it would make a lot of sense. With that in mind, our cornerback recruiting has been way below average the last 4 years.
The first half of that statement is correct. It does. The defensive backs are evaluated by Ephraim Banda and Manny Diaz, safeties and corners. Now, if for those of us that know college football, every program has their slight differences. Miami's cornerback coach, Mike Rumph, does not offer offers. It's the defensive coordinator who offers, and Ephraim Banda. Okay. In that situation, you see that if you were to Google or 247, anyone, for those of you who are watching right now, my live squad who's watching, if you were to take any recruit that comes to mind right now, type in their name, go to 247, and I want you to look at their primary and secondary recruiting. And then I want you to come back and I want you to tell me why everyone keeps attacking Mike Rumph and he's not the primary recruiter for cornerbacks. Now, why that is, I do not know. I don't work at the University of Miami. But what I do know is that with any simple search, you will see that Ephraim Banda is the one recruiting these corners. until late in the night, around like January 30th, right before we're about to have the National Signing Day. Mike Rumph rolls in the SEC country and finds a nice 6'2" SEC caliber corner to come play for the Miami Hurricanes. And then he gets credit for that player, that prospect. But if you were to look at any of your top-notch corners, you look at your Corey Collier, it's Ephraim Banda and Manny Diaz. You look at Marshall, it's Ephraim Banda and Manny Diaz. Any of those guys, it does not say Mike Rumph. So, and it's funny because it's one of those things to where he's going to get the brunt of the blow. Why? Because he's the cornerback's coach. And in most people's eyes, and what most people think is that the position coaches is your primary recruiter. That isn't true. I mean, Stephen Fields was Justin Flo's primary recruiter, not Coach Packey, not Blake Baker. It was Stephen Fields who coaches tight ends. It's about regional recruiters. You know, why would I have someone who's from, let's say someone from Georgia who happens to be my linebackers coach? He has all of the connections he has is in the state of Georgia. Therefore, I would want him to be my Georgia primary recruiter, whether that be wide receiver, whether that be corner, whether that be QB. He knows the coaches in the area and the quality of football in that state. So therefore, he's going to be the one that we send to recruit that state. It doesn't mean that if we miss a Miami linebacker, we should blame the linebackers coach, theoretically, who is from Georgia, who recruits the state of Georgia. So, like I said, when it comes to defensive backs at Miami, that goes through head coach Manny Diaz and co-coverage defensive coordinator Ephraim Banda.